Welcome back to another episode of the 1216 podcast, manga edition, going over chapter 1099. This was actually one of my favorite chapters so far throughout the whole series because it brought up a lot of speculation, a lot of different theories that came to my mind when we were going over it. So to start off, of course, 1099 titled The Pacifista, or The Pacifist. We start off with the cover art of Otis sitting down with some Tentata, just, messing around with him and, styling his hair, which is really cool to see. I like seeing art like that. It's pretty dope. So when chapter kicks off, we see that Kuma is still going through it. He is just tearing the town apart. No matter what's inside his way, he's not stopping. He's punishing anything and everything. He's burning buildings down to get where he has to go. And of course, it's understandable because we see that he is still going through a lot of hurt and pain that's come his way. So of course, King Bakuri is there. He's taken over again. We know that he is back as a ruler, and it's time for him to get pushed away yet again by Kuma. And Kuma does just so that. We sit inside the church, of course, starting off with all the wounded people, and Bonnie's there, of course, and everybody's just looking on, and they're on the edge of everything. And King Bakuri is just sitting there, and King Bakuri is sitting inside his own castle as Kuma is going through with Ursa shocks, and he's just destroying everything. He's a one-man army revolution that's going on right now. And this is what went down as the day. This was the day in the Cyberpunk Kingdom where it was literally that, the one-man army revolution. Well, it seems like the Cyberpunk Kingdom has a new king. And this new king, of course, being Kuma, of course, is getting cheers. He's getting praise. Everybody loves Kuma. But the only thing is that Kuma doesn't want to be labeled as the king of the country. He would be the figurehead for it, of course, but he wants Bulldog, who is an elder person who's been there for a very long time, who's actually ran the country before, to take on the realms of being back in charge of the old kingdom. And I do like that, of course. Kuma set himself kind of high. He set himself up in a good position to whereas, if need be, it would be nice to see that, he is giving the reins back to somebody who was a former king. But as we go around some more, we see Bonnie is just running around inside the church, and everybody's looking on and just thinking that it's Guinea running around inside there because somehow, some way, Bonnie is trying to get her stamina up, and out of nowhere, she ages to like probably, between 16 and maybe 18 years old. She ages her entire body up and just looks like Guinea. She's much more of an adult-like figure, much more mature, and everybody's looking on in shock like, wait a minute, how did Guinea get here? And Bonnie doesn't know what the hell is going on. She was trying to just build up her stamina, and she looks inside the mirror, and obviously she aged herself. And then everybody's looking on in shock because did you eat a devil fruit? Nobody knows the way behind it. What happened? Why is she even able to transform? And this probably goes to just show you that it was completely weird. And this goes to become the age fruit, which Bonnie is the holder of. Nobody knows how she got it. She was just running around freely inside the church, trying to build her stamina up, and then became a young adult. Then she tries to become an old woman, elderly, and that works out as well. She actually has the wrinkles and everything like that that goes on, which was completely, crazy to see that Bonnie was able to take herself and become different ages at a young age without even showing the fact that she did eat a devil fruit. I still would like to know where this devil fruit even came from that she has, because the age fruit is one of those devil fruits where it's like it's one of those. It's a great devil fruit to use. You can use it on yourself or other people. You see that Kuma, of course, is labeled as the evil tyrant, and it's King Bakuri's doing. King Bakuri's trying to spread a false narrative of Kuma around right now, just so he could get back in control of the Sovereign Kingdom. That's not going all too well to plan. The only thing that we do see is that Kuma says, you know what? I have to leave this island or you guys will be in danger for the most part. And that's typically what he does. He finds himself out to sea in a small ship. Um, the Marines, of course, pop up with King Bakuri there with them, and he's telling them to shoot him down, stop him, the corrupt dictator, kill him this instant. And King Bakuri is just not getting the hint. Kuma obviously sinks the entire armada and just takes them all down yet again, making it super easy for him to do because of his paw fruit. Kuma's a one-man wrecking show at this point, and Bonnie's back at the church still while Kuma's out at sea, and Bonnie's just going around getting taken care of by the people that's there, and she wants her dad. She's pouting around, but we do understand that Kuma has to be able to be Kuma, and he still is a revolutionary. Bonnie's inside her mind is still going on, believing that once she turns 10, she's going to be cured. And then once she does that, she wants to go out and become a pirate, just like what Kuma is labeled as. Kuma's obviously a revolutionary. He's a pirate, revolutionary, slave, all kind of stuff going on with it. And as we see, Kuma's going around, he's doing his thing. He's going from place to place, just trying to see if anybody knows anything or can help cure anything. With him being a revolutionary and him being, who he is, Kuma, his name is spreading across the world. But for him to do this, he's also looking for this cure for his daughter. No matter who comes up, people are trying to say, oh, we'll take your head, we'll kill you, do this, do that. He takes care of them real quick in a hurry. But nonetheless, his journey is out to, make this miracle happen for Bonnie. Make this cure happen to whereas she doesn't have to be so much into, death coming her way. And of course, Kuma finds himself back with the revolutionary. Izumi and Eva already got captured and sent to prison. So they're in Impel Down now. This is obviously when they took over the Impel Down Queendom jail when they went inside there, and people are going around calling him the king, a tyrant, a pirate, whatever it is. People change as they go. The Revolutionary Army keeps their articles seriously, and they sit there and talk about everything how it's supposed to be. So people are going over and saying that, oh, the captain of the Eastern Forces, do it. They kind of want to run it. So Dragon looks on and looks off at Kuma and says that that's Guinea's old post, and he would not get that up or let that go without the blessings of Kuma. Kuma's looking on like another sharp-tongued woman in the Eastern Forces, and he gives her the blessings. The blessings are fine by Kuma. You could run it. He tells her to take over if he wants to. And Sabo and Koala are both still young, freshly new to this, but they look up to Kuma a lot, and they're really happy, that they're becoming, stronger, and happy that he's back, of course. And Kuma, he's traveling, he's doing things he's supposed to be doing, and he's asking Dragon, what would Dragon do here in a situation that Kuma's in? And honestly, Dragon told us, as he said, hey, return to the revolutionaries. But that in mind, that reminds me of how, you talked about Bonnie. I want you to return to the revolutionaries, but you gotta figure out what's going on with your daughter. And Dragon sends him a little gift, a little nudge to go talk to Vegapunk. And Vegapunk, of course, is the mad scientist that works with the government, but he's still, very close ties with Dragon. And at this point, he's looking on at it. Dragon, being the ex-Marine, he does have ties with Vegapunk still. We all know that Dragon was an ex-Marine because it was stated a few chapters ago when Dragon was said that he was, an ex-Marine. But Kuma gets happy. Nonetheless, he says, I can probably cure Bonnie's disease, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as Kuma returns back to the Cyber Kingdom, he finds that Bonnie is still as strong as ever, knocking people out. and one, one hitter quitters them, and he's taking her to Vegapunk, so he's gonna put her into like a little, a little device where the sunlight cannot reach her at all, and they head over to the to the lab number 8, aka the future site, the future location of Egghead Island. And once he gets there, Kuma is is looking at shock by the way that Vegapunk's head looks, because Vegapunk's head is just enormous, and Vegapunk's looking at Kuma as like this monstrous person that he is, and they go back and forth. Of course, they talk a little bit. Extraordinary physique is what Kuma has, the muscle up on it, and he's thinking about the the scientific progress they can have for this project that he's working on. And as the project goes on, well, not project, as we go on, Kuma lets Bonnie out. Bonnie gets around Sentamaru and playing around with Sentamaru, so that's pretty cool to see that the connection is there, and that's why they were so tight, because they were playing around as kids when Bonnie was kids, and Sentamaru was there watching her. But Vegapunk strictly, tells him that he can cure it with stem cell transplants. He can cure Bonnie with ease. But as he looks on some more, Vegapunk realizes that he's a Buccaneer. Kuma is a Buccaneer, and the fact that he works for the government, he wants to make sure that Kuma knows this, and Kuma doesn't care. As long as he trusts Dragon, he trusts anybody else that's there, and they can do whatever they want as long as they can help. And Vegapunk strictly says, I want to clone you. He wants to get down to it. It's a soldier project. It's a cloning soldier project that's coming out to it. And I want to clone you. I want to make you the main source of this project. And Kuma's looking on at first. He was like, kind of skeptical about it. But then when he said that, honestly, if you can cure Bonnie and I don't have to pay anything, because Vegapunk strictly says, hey, I would waive all fees for you. That was a surefire yes. Like, that was one of those things where it's like, fuck yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't have to pay for anything for my daughters to get fixed. But on top of that, I can still go ahead and help you out scientifically to make this work. Now, of course, the soldiers they are meant to be weapons, but they're not meant to be killing people, which kind of went against the whole thing later on once he found out what the Pacifistas are doing. And the Pacifistas are, they're good, but, at the same time, look what they're doing now. They were created for something totally different, and Kuma was fine by it. Just a spineless pacifista, of course, loved keeping the peace, and he made it seem like Kuma and Vegapunk looked at it was like, yes, this would be perfect to do right here. We're calling the pacifistas because you're a pacifist, and just mixing it with science in general. Of course, this should work out fine, and they ended the chapter with that. But they ended the chapter showing off that Vegapunk and Kuma were both fine with this. But we do get the fact that Kuma was traveling around everywhere, and everywhere Kuma hit was kind of places that the Straw Hat Crews went to as well, which is kind of funny. But I am glad that we did get to see, just how the Pacifistas came to be. It was a scientific experiment that had to happen, and the scientific experiment was good because it's for the greater good of him being not, a saint, but being somebody who can be looked at and seen as helpful inside the world. No matter how it came, it would be looked at as very helpful for what he's doing. And I kind of enjoyed this a lot with it. But I'm going to keep it nice and simple. I am kind of sick. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think will be happening. We have chapter 1100 coming up next week, and I am so stoked about it because 1100, I hope we get to see more of Dragon or whatever pops up. I know it's going to be something good, but stay tuned. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe down below. This is 12, signing off.